G'day everyone and welcome to the Battleforged Gaming Podcast, episode 22, proudly brought to you by Generalgameschirnside Park. I'm going to remember it. Like and sub, please, guys. I think the past three, I've got that at the end of the podcast, but finally got it at the start. Welcome, Mark, BFG.
Thanks, mate.
Mark, and we've got Imran from Imzy's Brushstroke Battalion.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Thanks
no
for
worries
coming.
at all. So, yeah. What have you been up to, dude?
So
We'll just jump straight into the Fortnite catch up.
that's good. It's the way to go. So doing my battle line units again. So as everyone knows, I was going to be a madman and attempt to do 50 at a time in batch painting. Yes, of my nids. But I've decided I need to break them up in squads of 10 because 50 at once, having 50 models sitting in front of me, it's quite daunting. So I'll do the squads of 10. So then each time I finish that's 10, that's a unit done. And then I can move on to my next piece. So that's where I'm at. And I've been looking into a little bit of Age of Sigma as well. So
very cool.
Still, yes. But the Tyranids come first. I don't want to go down too many rabbit holes at once because I need to finish the army
Batch
first.
painting's an interesting one. It's that whole, do you take on 50 models and if you can stick to it, you will paint them quicker. But quite often it will do that opposite effect where it'll kill the motivation.
You get over it so quick.
And it would have just been quicker doing 10
Or you'll end up going to your doctor for mental assistance because it's a lot of models in front of you.
Yeah. I think the fortnightly catch up from now until maybe 2 months' time is probably going to be the same thing. What have you been up to?
Nids, yeah.
Hormagaunts.
Yeah, it will be a lot of them. So can't complain there.
And Imzy, what have you been up to?
Still got Blood Angels on the table. That's all I do, bro. Just Blood Angels.
Yep.
30k Blood Angels.
Yeah, 30, not 40k ones.
Not 40k. No. We don't dwell in that side of things. I did give that a good crack once upon a time, but it just wasn't for me. I tried a lot of stuff before I started playing Heresy. And then, I ended up joining this community and just got stuck into it. And it was just the best thing that ever happened. It was really good.
That's a good segue into the origin story of Imzy and how he got into the hobby.
I started in 2021.
Yep.
Some late bloomer. I remember as a kid, my mum used to take me to I think there was a Games Workshop at Melbourne Central back in the day. And I used to go there and paint free models. But I never really got into it. I was always more of a video game type of guy. I played World of Warcraft for most of my life. Wasted so much fucking time in the game.
I think most people end up having the same sort of feeling about that too. I played a bit of WoW as well. Probably not as much as most people do, but
WoW's got a special place in my heart, but it's not what it used to be, and you sort of grow out of it. Yeah. And I just needed something to fill the void. I was just working flat out and just bored, really. And I watch a lot of the lore stuff that comes up on YouTube, Major Kill and all those guys. So I went to Games Workshop in the city. I had a day off. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to go down and see what's up. And I met Ryan at the city store, if you guys met him before.
Yep.
Yeah, great guy. Just having a quick chat. He's like, what do you like? I said, I don't know. I like Space Marines. And we were talking about the lore a little bit. And he sold me a Indominus box at the time. And that was with the Necron and Space Marines.
Yeah. Yep. Came out with Blade Guard, I think.
They were cool models. I took it home. I didn't really play. I did some painting. I ended up selling that set. I sold the Necron side of it. I kept the Space Marine side. So it's sort of the first thing I painted, and I still kept it in my display cabinet.
So you've still got the first model?
Yeah, still got the first ones.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's only a couple of years old, but still.
That's like further down the track when you've been doing the hobby for like 15 years, and you can look back at it. It's pretty cool.
And then I tried to play and I didn't really enjoy it. The rules were just a bit too much for me and just found it really, really competitive.
Yeah, that would have been 9th.
Yeah,
I
9th
think.
edition.
Yeah, so ninth was hectic. Ninth was probably not a great time for a beginner to get into the hobby.
It was so much.
Yeah, they do it. They do additions in pairs. So like 8th was quite simple, and then they jumped into 9th and it like ramped up. So right now we've got 10th, and then I have a feeling that 11th will just shoot up and it'll just be.
You reckon that's around the corner?
I reckon it'll be at least a year off. They did just drop the new mission pack and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and updated some rules, which is always good. But Yeah, 9th would have been a rough time to get into it.
Yeah,
so
it's a bad timing. But maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Like, it worked that well. And then I tried to get into Sigma because I really, really liked the models. I was all about Slaves of Darkness, Be'lakor, the Demon Prince, the Chaos Warriors. They just look so cool. So I bought a set of that, painted that up. And I played that. I played it consistently. I used to go to, the city store, and there was D and Ryan would always give me intro games. And it was fun. But I thought I'd try and venture into the community and like the hobby clubs. And
so you've done this all by yourself? You didn't have like a friend to sort of...
No, just Facebook. Just see what's up. Just Google search Sigma, Warhammer, just find groups and then just go.
So the complete opposite to a lot of the guests we've had on. Like we had Ash last fortnight and he was like, oh man, I was quite intimidated. I didn't really want to jump in. I had to go to the store with my wife, which like, it's not a knock at anyone, you know, but like this is a stark contrast with you just being like, I'm going to go to a store by myself. I'm going to just start chatting to people on Facebook, which
I
is...
just walked in. What's up, fellow nerds? And just, hook me up with a box. Let's go.
So that's good for people out there that are wanting to get into it. Like you've done it by yourself and you've been...
I didn't know anyone that was in the
welcomed
hobby.
pretty warmly.
Yeah.
Otherwise you wouldn't be sitting here on a podcast.
Exactly
with us.
right. So Sigma, and then I ended up in the Geelong group with the guy I was telling about earlier, Jared Coots. Lovely guy. But it was so competitive. I remember I had my first intro game there and I had the worst fucking time. I just conceded on turn 2. This guy just absolutely hammered me. He knew I'd like never played. And I was super bubbly when I came in, and I don't know, this guy was just ruthless, just cutthroat, just completely murdered me. And I never played a game after that. Yeah. And that was my Sigma story done. I still got my...
we've actually heard that a couple of times.
It was just like, just dude, relax, man. Like I'm trying to enjoy the game.
So if you are someone that is quite up to date with your rules and new people are wanting to play, maybe don't do that because we want to grow the hobby. So let's...
This is that whole thing, again, touching on chatting to your opponent before the game and getting to know who they are and where they're at in the hobby, you know? Like I'm sure that if you had a far more enjoyable first game, then Age of Sigmar could potentially still be on the table. But then obviously you took a few more ventures, a few more
it's weird. I'm kind of glad it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Because where I am now and the people I know now, it's an absolute blessing.
This is the Horus Heresy community we're talking about.
Yeah. That's got a special place in my heart now. Not so much even the hobby, but the people I met through the Heresy community as well. So I left the Geelong club and I wanted to find another one. And there was Westgate Wargaming. They used to play out of Two Birds Brewing in Spotswood. It's closed down now. We play at a different place.
They play at a brewery.
Yeah.
That would have been sick.
Good. It was so good. Just beers on tap, good food. There was music blaring and a place. It was sort of a small place, but tables were closed. It was so much fun. It was such a vibe every Thursday night. That was the escape from reality and everything.
And was there just like people that weren't playing Warhammer there as well?
Yeah, you just come down, shoot the shit as well.
That was sick. Yeah. That'd be sick. That's interesting.
People just come and watch you play and just have a beer if you don't want to play.
That's cool.
You come down, you can paint your models there, you can do everything. It was really good.
Need to make a Warhammer bar.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That would be wild.
In Melbourne.
Sort of like the gaming arena. Maybe they're trying to do something like that, right? Yeah. But actually the first 2 times I went to Westgate, I didn't go down to Westgate Wargaming. I couldn't get out of the car. I had like really, really bad anxiety.
Oh, okay.
Back then, yeah, dude. Like I'd park in front, I'd sit for 10 minutes and I'd drive off and go home.
I
laugh about it now.
I used to do that at the gym when I saw my ex's car. I'm like, I'll go for a run around the lake today.
That's really funny.
So this was this with Age of Sigmar, was it? Or was this?
No, this was, so I was going to this club empty-handed, pretty much. I just wanted to go in and just meet everybody.
Yeah.
And then I met the guy that was running it, Mitch Gibson, who's a good friend of mine till this day. So from what I understand, they used to play Middle Earth out of that pub, and it just grew to what it is today. And now they play everything from Infinity to Underworlds. There's a lot more Horus Heresy happening there now as well. There's a little bit of 40k, Gaslands. They play everything, but just the community that was built out of that place is just top notch.
Crazy how it can work like that. Just a couple of guys playing some Lord of the Rings and then sort of word of mouth come down, and then it ends up being like a gaming club out of a brewery.
It's so crazy. Good. Everything they had. Mitch is he's one of his best mates. His name is, you might have heard of Golden. Adam, he was big in the 40K scene. But
I feel like I should. Someone's going around with the name Golden. I feel like I should know.
Yeah, he's sort of led the way with Heresy as well, and a lot of the terrain they've made from scratch, and we all got to use it at the club. And just playing with really, really, really well created terrain is a big bonus as well. And then,
so sort of the difference between 40K and Horus Heresy, it is very sort of immersive.
It's very narrative.
Yeah.
It's like super narrative.
Yeah. Whereas 40K, it seems like it's starting to push more towards just competitive.
Yeah.
Like even just like regular pickup games at casual stores. It just feels like it's getting more and more competitive. So, and that terrain's just end up being like the modular cardboard stuff.
Yeah.
Boring. I don't like shit on 40K.
We can shit on 40K. I'm sure we'll get a 40K guest that'll be like, oh, all I want is competitive. I want no immersion. I don't want no story behind it.
If that's what you want, then that's yeah. But if you want something a bit different, like I said, it's more focused on heresy and narrative. Even at events that we have now, there's no podium finishes. There's awards for like best painted army, loyalist, trader. There's best general on both sides sometimes, but that's it. You don't find out what you place, nothing like that.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that is really cool.
Mm-hmm. You just go, you take a list which you think is really cool, not over the top strong, something that fits in maybe with a book you read. That's what I like to do. So I'll take a section out of the book and I've got little nameplates on my guys and you try and recreate.
Is this scenario. You trying to get me into...
Yeah.
That sounds exactly like what I want to do.
You know, I'm going to actually say is I ordered the model for you to bring today. There's a guy named Dominion Zephon.
Oh, I know that model.
Yeah, and it didn't come in time.
Damn.
Yeah, but next time
it's a sick model.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very cool model.
I thought that might, and him in the books, he's just an absolute beast. He's so cool.
He lost like all his limbs and got depressed and stuff.
Yeah, but he's like super cyborg now.
Did he lose all his limbs?
He lost his leg.
Both arms?
Both his arms. Not all his arms. I think just like up to his elbows or something.
I mean,
like that.
That's enough.
Yeah, he's half cyborg. But he's just like, flies into death, doesn't care.
So what happened to him? How did he end up so...
I don't think you find out. I did finish reading the Siege of Terror, but I don't think you find out.
Oh, there could be spoilers as well, guys. FYI, if you're into your Horus Heresy stuff, there's a very real chance there could be some spoiler stuff because Imzy loves his lore and his stories.
Good. I think last thing I read about him, he was in the webway fighting.
This mic's liking to fight me today. It's dropping a lot.
Just do it up real tight, brother. You'll get it.
I'm getting it.
You can't break it.
You say that, and then I'll go twist it, and it will just snap on me.
It's all right. If it's just the mic stand, that's okay.
And all the people I met through the community, that's the best part, man. As good as the game is, as good as the lore is, guys like Kieran, the other day.
Yeah.
Everyone's just so cool, man.
And it's just that vibe because there's no sort of competitiveness behind it. Like you were saying, we did have a chat earlier. You don't necessarily get pushed out of the hobby, but you learn pretty quick that if you're taking lists that...
Yeah, if you're going to take a dick kicker list, no one's going to want to play with you.
Yeah. So you sort of just get alienated.
Yeah. And then Heresy, they're longer games and you want to focus on that narrative side of things too. And we don't just focus and roll. No, we drink beers, we stop and we eat, we talk shit between the game as well.
Damn, I'm gonna be painting up some Horus Heresy at some point.
It sounds like a very good game style. It sounds very good.
I got a friend of mine now, Xavier. He's painting up some demons, and we're gonna try and recreate like a scene from the book Fear to Tread, where the Blood Angels fought against the demons. I'm gonna try and recreate that on the tabletop. That's what it's about.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be real cool.
So. Yeah, no 40K anymore whatsoever.
No 40K.
Doesn't look like it's anywhere on the horizon.
No, I almost got into like 3rd edition. The guy was running like a 3rd edition event earlier this year. And
so actually playing the rules from 3rd edition.
Yeah.
So I think you would have enjoyed 6th and 7th edition then because it's the same rule set. That's when Mark and myself came in and I really, really did like playing that.
Seventh. I haven't played heaps of 10th, but 7th was my favorite. I loved the diversity.
A lot of people
that
say I think
7th had.
Heresy is like 7th or 8th. I might be getting this wrong.
It's 7th. Yeah.
Like 7th, yeah.
Except
I loved it.
do you have formations at all in like Horus Heresy? Do you get additional bonuses if you take specific units at all, or not? It's just literally your army rule.
You get special rules if you take a unit with it. Like if you take a Primarch, he'll give this unit. Like with Sanguinius, if you run Sanguinius, your Dawnbreakers get line. If that kind of thing you're talking about.
Yeah, sort of. In 7th, it was stuff like, I guess you would take 3 units of Dawnbreakers and then, I don't know, they would get an extra attack or something like that. That's what the formations used to do in 7th. And it ramped up real fast. Like to the point where there was like some formation with AdMech and you didn't have to pay for any upgrades on the units. There was one for Ultramarines and you didn't have to pay for transports. Could you imagine what Horus Heresy would be like if you didn't have to pay for transports?
That'd be wild.
It'd be nuts.
Yeah.
The amount of free points people would take in 2,000
It did get
points.
quite out of control.
I think someone did an equation. It was something like you could get extra 700 like points into a 2,000.
No, I don't think there's anything like that. I'm pretty sure there's nothing like that.
Oh, hopefully not.
Yeah. If there isn't, it's like broken. The community will rule that. Rule it out. No, we don't use those rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of house ruling, which is good too.
Does the rules change much for 30k, or is it kind of been written and then it's sort of
No, it's been written.
stuck?
There's FAQs that come out and rule adjustments here there, but it's
not often, obviously.
no, not too often. No.
It's sort of sat around the same rule set ever since it came out, I think.
Yeah.
That's pretty
with
good.
just with micro adjustments.
I never played the first edition, but sometimes I play with guys who mix up the rules with first edition, and it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because 40k is quite different to that. It's not like 40k really.
No, it's
brings
like
out
every
their
3 years there's a new
comes out,
edition, new books. Yeah,
I think a lot of people are asking for a new edition. They reckon there's going to be like a 2.5.
Yeah, right.
Heresy 2.5 coming out because the game is really unbalanced at the moment. From what I understand, I don't really experience being unbalanced in my games, but I don't take like the strongest units that I can take.
This is people taking copious amounts of dreadnoughts.
Now, see, there's the house rules for that. It's 1 dreadnought per 1,000 points.
Yeah,
you can take. And if you go to an event, normally they have like we have a doubles event coming up, run by a guy named Darcy, and then it's 12 50-point doubles. But there's like no vehicles, and there's these rules they call it Centurion rules, I think. And you just got to like 1 dreadnought per team, all that kind of stuff. And it's sort of house ruled like that, and it works out really well.
That's cool. I'd like to see that in 40k somewhere along the line. I don't know how they'd implement it, but that'd be pretty cool.
Sounds like you got a good group for it as well. It sounds like the rules are implemented so everyone can have fun. Everyone
so you
gets
don't
the
get
same
tabled
sort
on
of,
turn 2. The games do stretch out to turn 4, turn 5.
Yeah, that's good.
You said you went to Arc?
Yeah, I went to Arc.
So was that a Zone Mortalis?
Yeah, run by Michael Conti. He ran that. He stood up and took it on. Legend.
So Zone Mortalis, for people that don't know, what is it compared? Like 40k, the 30k regular battles is just on a massive battlefield. Zone Mortalis is
it's like you're on a spaceship, pretty much.
Yeah, so like a big Space Hulk maze type of.
Pretty much exactly like Space Hulk.
Yeah.
Except, and the rules are a little bit different. Like we have reactions. Did you guys have reactions in any of the 40k editions? There's reactions in Sigma now, I think. Or something.
There's strategies, and people call them reactions.
Yeah. Just the reactions are a bit different. Just different missions, but it's almost the same. Except a lot of the games are 4 turns instead of 5.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and quicker games, less points.
Yeah, it's 1,000 points.
Yeah, it's around 1,000 points. Yeah.
So you play 4 turns. You said.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite aggressive in terms of how.
Yeah,
you
it's more about just
it?
trying to get up the hallways and just bash each other. Just go over and done with it.
Man, imagine if you start further than 24 inches away.
And smaller.
I'm just not getting into combat.
I think it was a 3x3 or 4x4 or something, just like a square mat.
I've always liked the idea of Zone Mortalis.
Yeah.
It's cool. I didn't enjoy it as much. I prefer the bigger games because you can take all your cool shit and higher points. At low points, you can't really take all your
you don't get the toys.
No, you don't.
Is it? You have to take a minimum battle line. You have to take like 2 or 3
so
battle
minimum 2 line units and 1 HQ.
Yeah.
And then
See, I like that. I like having
I was
like
going to say
that's
at
only
least
40k.
No,
not at the moment.
You got to take a warlord, which is a HQ, and then you can take whatever you want.
Oh shit!
As
It's not
long as-
mandatory 2
Yeah.
Compulsory troops, 2 units.
No. You don't have to
HQ.
take battle line in 40k. You can take whatever you want as long as you follow the rule of 3. Can't take more than 3 of any unit.
Oh,
So
shit.
that shows how crazy I am paying in 50 battle line units at the moment.
Oh no! So the battle line you can take 6.
Yeah.
That's how 40k is trying to encourage people to take battle line. You can
Yes.
take up to 6 of those guys,
Yeah.
and they're really good at holding objectives. But I mean, people like their toys, so most of the time you end up with like a bunch of land raiders and heaps of dreadnoughts. And
Fun. Look at that. Let's get stomped.
yeah, Imzy's like, that does not sound good whatsoever.
You want the game to stretch out, you know what I mean? You can talk, get to know your opponent a bit better.
Yeah, that's exactly how I'd like to play my
Having
game.
a laugh in games definitely makes it a lot easier than if someone's getting stomped and they're just not enjoying their time. You're not going to be having a conversation with someone if they're just wiping your army out and you're like, I haven't even rolled yet.
I've had games where I've been stomped in Heresy, but it's not a competitive stomp. It's weird. Let's say you lost by turns, your turn 3, but leading up to it, you've had fun. Your opponent isn't, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Have you guys been like tabled on the second turn or anything like that? And it's just...
I haven't been tabled on a turn 2, but I have been tabled. That's another good thing about 40k. Like being tabled doesn't mean you lose anymore where it used to.
Yeah.
So, if you are playing the objectives really, really well, you can still win the game. And in fact, like I think sometimes there's ones where it's like, your opponent needs to get an objective you were holding, and you're like, I'm not on the table, bro. So
you know who tabled me on,
guess you're not getting those
on the
points.
second turn?
Not Kieran.
So it was one of the first events I went to. It was called Legends of Heresy. I've put all the photos up on melbourneheresy.com, that website that I run as well.
Well, Chuck, remind me, or I'll remind myself. I'll put that link.
It's good for motivation. We've got all the events up there. It's all the photos we take. But yeah, Kieran tabled me on turn 2, but that was my favorite game for the day. We had such a laugh that game. And it just happened.
I'm sure Kieran did.
Yeah. And I was still learning. I did the dumbest thing. And even Kieran was like, are you sure you want to do that? I'm going to shoot this down. I'm like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's just have fun.
You got to look at Kieran's models as well.
Just frothing over those, but I just tipped mine over.
Was it his Emperor's Children or was it something else?
Yes, it was his Emperor's Children. So we were playing with Primarchs. So you had Fulgrim and I had Sanguinius. Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's just so awesome.
Did the Primarchs versus each other?
No. No, my Primarch almost got shot down with half my army. So I was playing Day of Revelation, so I pretty much deep strike half my stuff. And he like shot all my stuff down to the deep strike. And he told me, he gave me the heads up. I'm like, let's just do it anyway, bro. It's Sanguinius, he's got wings, he's got to be flying in. You know what I mean? Even though you know you're going to lose, you do it because it's that
lore behind it.
You have a good time.
Yeah.
And he's such a good opponent where it doesn't matter.
It really does depend a lot on your opponent. Like if you are, I guess I feel like we're all very similar in terms of how we want to play a game.
Yes, yeah.
And your opponent does play a big part in that. So it's hard to find a good opponent, but it sounds like the Horus Heresy community is full of them.
I've never had a bad opponent. I played probably 50 games under my belt now. I don't think I've ever had a bad opponent. I haven't had a bad time, nothing like that. It's been good.
Again, trying to encourage me to play.
I was going to say, how twisted is your arm at the moment with 30k?
I'm nearly like Dominion Zephyr. My arm's nearly twisted.
I'll ship it up to you because there's a long drive down here. You'll see it. It's a fun model.
I've seen the model,
cool.
Yeah, with his big two-handed sword.
His rules are crazy as well. I've never fielded him. I got the model home. I got to finish painting. I've never fielded him, but I've had a quick look at the rules and he's a beast.
Not that I want to be like the devil on anyone's shoulder, but people watching now, you know what else we can harass Judd to paint on stream when that model comes.
So now I've got my Blood Angels, I've got the Stormcast I just picked up, and now Horus Heresy.
I think even if you don't play the game, it's good to collect. Like I got Mephiston at home. I've started collecting 40k models.
You painting them up as well?
Only Blood Angels. Yeah, I've only painted Sanguinary Regard. I'm halfway through that.
Yeah.
Because now they've got rules in Heresy. They released them.
They are in Heresy. I was going to ask.
Ago.
I was about to ask because I don't know in the lore whereabouts they sort of came in.
They've been there from the start.
Right.
Yeah, mainly the characters are Azkaellon. He's pretty much the leader, and Zuriel, like his right-hand man almost as well.
Yep.
they've always led the way.
So as Kalon, I think is the rumors that he's the Sanguinor. I believe, maybe.
Yeah, I haven't dived too deep into 40k.
Yeah, because they don't know who the Sanguinor is.
You're twisting each other's arms right now.
Yeah,
we just both been Blood Angel players as well.
Check
so
this, man.
Well, I don't think there's any hard proof on who it is, but I've heard rumors it was him.
That'll be really cool if it is.
Or the captain of who was the captain of the first company? Testing him here.
Maybe Amit? I don't know. Or he might have been 10th.
Amit was 10th, I think.
It was 10th, yeah. I'm not sure.
I remember Lockie was telling me, he's like, I heard, he might have read or heard the lore, and he's like, there's this guy for the Blood Angels, Nasser Amir. I'm like, the chapter master of the Flesh Terrors.
Flesh Terror, bro.
And he's like, he called him the Flesh Terror. I'm like, yeah, because he's the chapter master of the Flesh Terrors.
But he was called the Flesh Terror in the Heresy as well. Yeah, that was his nickname.
I love that.
And he used to fight in the gladiatorial pits.
Yeah, we used to fight with Khan. So they'd used to like, they'd be chained up together.
Yeah.
And they'd go up against another opponent, and him and Khan would just dominate everyone, which was pretty sick.
Badass.
Yeah.
That is very badass. Khan's cool too.
He didn't have his Terminator armor though, did he?
No Terminator. Yeah. It was just like peasant spec.
Yeah.
Space Marine. It was really, it was like just standard.
Like watching the Gladiator movie. Yeah.
Yeah, because eventually you got 2 chain fists and some Terminator armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a beast. But Ascalon's story is really cool, man. That guy's been through like hell and back. He got caught by Conrad Kurz.
Oh, that's never a good thing.
Oh, bro, he got tortured, lost limbs, the whole deal. I actually haven't read that part of the book. I just seen some stuff on YouTube. He's been through a lot. He's a sick cunt.
There's one person you don't want to get caught by. It's Conrad Kurz.
He's a nut of that bloke. I haven't read too much lore into the Space Marines, but I know a bit about him and Khan as well. I like the loopy ones. I think they're cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny characters in the book.
You're going to have me going down the path tonight of looking into 30k and lore and stuff.
That's good.
Now.
Like I said, it's the lore that it does it for me. It's just right up there.
Number one inspiration for your like lists and stuff you do?
For the list building?
Yeah.
Just whatever I think is the coolest thing in the book. Yeah. And also the coolest models, because they don't really dive into like the Dawnbreakers much in the books, but they're a really fun model to field.
It's the guys with the spears? And
spears and the jetpacks.
They got a melter pistol on their arm or something?
No, so they're missile launcher, so you can choose between 2 different profiles.
On their wrist?
On their wrist, yeah.
That's
so
cool.
there's a frack or crack grenades.
Yeah, missile launcher on the wrist.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
They're so sick, and they pin and rending 5 up, and they're really, really strong, but they just look really cool.
Yeah. I do like those models. There's a guy that's making a 3D sculpt for some Blood Angels. It's for 40k stuff though.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would fit on the 30k stuff. It's coming out in September. Can't remember what his name is, but I want to get some of that stuff.
What is it? What sort of model?
It's like upgrade sprues, so like backpacks with wings and shoulder pads.
That's
and
so cool.
That is
How
cool.
lucky are we? We don't have like no green stuff. Don't have to do like the guys tell me some of the things they have to do back in the day. I'm like, I go home and just press print and I'm done.
Yeah.
If I want extra stuff, it's so easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's what Kieran used to do all the time. He'd do his own like press molds and stuff.
Yeah, it just sounds painful, really.
Yeah. He'd get like the blue stuff that you'd heat up with water, like putty, and then you'd like press around and trim, and then you'd mix up
make
green
the
stuff.
molds.
I
and
did
stuff,
it once.
yeah.
I did it once, and I was like, I'm only going to do this once.
Yeah.
But the bits, yeah, like you're saying, 3D bits and stuff, and the guys that are starting to create the files, like it started off a bit shoddy and a little bit,
It's pretty full. I like so I can buy all the plastic stuff, and then but if I want like Blood Angel's helmet just to put onto that model, you can do that. I just like Legion specific stuff. Is what I really like.
Pluto Miniatures is actually going to, I think, look at doing some of that stuff too. Start creating some upgrade stuff, which
that'd be cool.
Sick for 40k, because they're just sort of in the fantasy realm right now.
Yeah, a lot of it seems like a D&D.
Yeah, very D&D
like
oriented. Yeah, but potential. Wait, are you commenting Imzy Paints? Is this you on Twitch commenting? Someone's here called Imzy Paints.
Oh, probably someone's on the computer at work or something. Maybe my brother. I don't know.
There we go.
It's maybe my brother.
I was just getting some Imzy.
Shit, I stayed logged in.
I was getting some Imzyception there, and I was like, I didn't see you get your phone out.
It's me in the webway. I'm just coming through.
So the events for Horus Heresy, it sounds like there's lots of them. Like
there's been a few this year. There's been maybe 4 or 5 events, which is really good.
It sounds like there's more than 40k to me.
I think so. Well, this year on the top of my head, we've had React, which was in Canberra, which was a 2-day narrative event.
So you went all the way to Canberra to play?
Went to Canberra. Well, my sister lives in Canberra, so I'm fortunate I can just stay with her and her bloke. And I just went there to take photos. I didn't play. I didn't have enough models at the time because I've started another Blood Angels army and I don't play with my old one anymore.
Right.
I just want to use all my new stuff. So I just went there to take photos and just meet all the guys there. We had Horus Heresy. We got the doubles event coming up. We had Judgment Day this year, which is targeted at sort of new players. It's
sounds like wrestling event.
Yeah, does,
we see me walking with our own intros, giving the
the glass smashes.
Everyone's got the belts, but it's got like their chapters, icons on it.
So the photos, you are quite passionate about taking photos of models.
Oh yeah,
at events.
Mm-hmm. I love doing it. I love showing off everybody's work. You'd be surprised the amount of people. I remember this one guy in Canberra named Hayden. He had the most amazing Death Guard army I've ever seen. He had these really cool nameplates, which inspired me to do my nameplates. But the painting was just top notch. He had this like pink, red glow in all the eyes. Having a chat to him, I'm like, oh man, what's your Instagram? You know, I want to see your stuff. He's like, I don't have Instagram. I'm like,
imagine how many amazing painters are out there that don't actually have social media.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy.
I said, oh, do you put it on Facebook? He's like, no, I just paint, man. I'm like, dude, the world needs to see these models. They're so good. So I asked him, I spoke to him. I said, you know, can I snap some photos and I'll put them online? And I can't even tag him. I'm just like, I just write Hayden. This is Hayden's models. And yeah, just go around doing that. I've had a lot of good feedback from the community from it too. So a lot of times I won't even play at an event. I'll just go and just try and snap as many photos as I can and show everyone's hard work off. Because I personally feel in the Heresy community, they go a little bit more above and beyond, especially regarding the lore kind of stuff and the fluff with the characters.
Everything you're saying about the Horus Heresy event, I'm like picturing a 40K event. I'm like, no one's turning up just to take photos at a 40K event because there's armies that are just like, no, I probably won't take photos of that. No offense. If you're taking offense to this, you probably should put more effort in.
I guess I'm going to get DMs after this.
Saying do better.
Yeah. But yeah, it sounds, imagine like from what you've said, how passionate Horus Heresy players are and how in depth they go with their painting. It sort of, it almost warrants someone going around to events just simply to take photos of.
And I'm lucky I had the camera set up using it from the business.
Yeah.
And I got a 100mm macro lens that works really, really well. And yeah, everyone's super happy with it. And I'm just going to keep doing it as much as I can. I'll do it all for free. I'll tell everybody, just hit me up on Instagram. I'll come down. I'll take some photos. We'll meet up anywhere. I don't care. Just want to have a good time and meet more people in the hobby community.
So you're legitimately doing it because you have the love for the hobby and you've found the right group to do it with that's helped you grow.
Even like
that
the
passion.
website's all out of my pocket. It's all good. I want everyone to be happy and I want to meet more people and everyone have a good time. Just come together. That's what I want. Everyone to come together.
Looks like I might have to look into doing some 30K. I like how it sounds as well.
I'll bring you some models too, don't I?
I'm sure.
I'm not going down Blood Angels. I'm not doing Blood Angels. Yeah,
surely I can somehow squeeze out 1,000 points for a Zone Mortalis. Yeah. Surely. So one dreadnought.
Nah, but you read the books first, and then it'll take you longer because then you might want to make.
I can't read. I'm literate.
Audio books,
this section of the book, this guy had a black shoulder pad, so I'll give him a black shoulder pad. Just small things like that.
Most of it's on audio books now, anyway, isn't it? So you can just listen to it. Yeah.
I'd have to listen to audio books.
Have you read Fear to Tread?
Nah.
That's one you should read as a Blood Angels fan. That's just all about Blood Angels, and that's the like we were talking earlier, when Horus Lupercal convinced Sanguinius to go to Cygnus Prime, that there was like a Xenos species there that they thought they had defeated before, but they've come back and they go there and it's a trap and the demons are waiting for them and it's just a big bloodbath.
Is this when, Horus has turned at this point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was to try and...
To wipe out the... No, so they originally... So what they really wanted to do, they wanted Sanguinius to fall to chaos.
Yeah.
Pretty much. They wanted him as a vessel. Yeah. And he ended up getting saved. I'm butchering this, by the way. I'm like skipping. Like there's
That's
so much.
all right.
There's so much
That's
that happens. But there's one important character, an apothecary named Brother Meros, and he sacrifices himself for his whole legion for his Primarch.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like it'll bring a tear to your eye, man. It's pretty sick. Was like that, and so I get the tattoos. I'm never changing legions. It's just so the story is so good.
More Blood Angels. More Blood Angels.
And all the characters are in there, and
I've got the transfer sheets.
I was going
the Heresy ones. Yeah, they're really cool.
I was
I've got
going to
'em.
say, technically, even if you did Blood Angels in 30k, you're still doing Blood Angels.
Yeah, I haven't started a new army. But I'd have to get all the cool units. I'd have to get the Dawnbreakers and the
Dawnbreakers are
the
sick.
guys with the big grenade launchers and the.
The Angels
As you
tiers.
tell everyone, you just
You'd
have
love
to
the Crimson Paladins.
just start with a
I've
squad.
seen that the Paladins are cool.
Paladins
yeah.
are my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crimson Paladins are sick. Because they were part of like I think before they met their Primarch, I think it was called the First Sphere. I think that was it.
There was some pretty cool shit that happened with Legions before they met their Primarchs. So like there's a unit, I can't remember what they're called. It was a Terminator unit for the Raven Guard, and they used to do a lot of missions with Horus.
That's sick.
Deliverers. They were called the Deliverers. And when Corvus took over, he's like, you guys are pretty brutal for how we like to operate. You guys will have to just sit at the back. And the only time he'd bring the Deliverers out is when like he really meant business. So yeah, there's some cool stuff that happens before the Primarchs turn up.
So he's like, all right, everyone, move back. Let these guys do their thing.
Yeah, they would just turn up and just destroy stuff. Like they weren't that like undercover sort of stealth operation unit.
Stealthy emo boys.
Nah, not the Deliverers. And they wore red armor
That's cool.
for the Raven Guard.
They
Yeah,
were
that's
red.
very
I gotta
cool.
look into that. That's really
Yeah.
all I know is about the Blood Angels.
That's what's trying. Like the Raven Guard's one of the ones I've been looking at for Horus Heresy because I really like their jump pack units.
they're
man,
cool.
can't remember what they're called. Them and Deliverers, but there's no model for the Deliverers. You have to make your own ones. Damn, I can't remember what their jump pack unit's called. It's gonna annoy me.
Like I should know. Because a good friend of ours is working Roving Guard at the moment. Shit.
Someone will say to chat, surely. Google it, chat. Google it.
So the Blood Angels were the Revenant Legion before they
The Revenant Legion.
Yeah, a lot of people do the color scheme too. It's just like a metallic grey almost.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I could do that.
You could. You definitely could.
Are you saying, but I shouldn't?
No, I'm saying you should.
Go red though, man. You've already nailed your red. You're actually such a good painter.
Do I have to? Do I have to do the same red, or do I? Because people do a lot of metallics, don't they? In Horus Heresy.
Golden, the guy I was talking about earlier. I think his stuff is sort of like his pre-shade is metallic. His Full Circle Hobbies on Instagram, and his Thousand Suns is.
I've seen the Thousand Suns. Yeah,
man. You got to see him in person.
Yeah, when I think Thousand Suns, Full Circle Hobbies.
Yeah,
Thousand
I
Suns
think he's
is
the
what I
goat for
see.
that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, Thousand Suns
I'll
sick.
show you after the podcast. I've been doing a Burgundy Stormcast, so I reckon I could do something.
I
with
reckon you
some
could.
metallics for sure.
Still Blood Angels, man. You're not technically diverting from your goal, so.
I'd probably be an outlier, wouldn't I? Painting some heavy metal style in Horus Heresy. That's
No,
not something
all.
you'd see often.
No, not at all. As long as it's, you can do whatever you want for the most part. But as long as you look at it and it looks like Blood Angels. A lot of the stuff has to be WYSIWYG as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But if you're playing Empress Children, it's got to be purple, or whatever, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like one of the, like you were saying, the random ones. Is it? What's the Death Guard one? The Dusk Raiders, I think. Dusk Raiders, and they're like a blue, I think. Like there's obviously like little offshoots of colors and stuff.
It'll be from the book, probably.
Yeah, I haven't ventured down it much because I'm one of those people that I see stuff and I'm like, yeah.
Have you been looking into Horus Heresy at all?
No, I haven't, but I will be tonight.
Have you heard the good word of our Lord and Savior, Sanguinius?
Traitor Legion or Loyalist? Where do you reckon you'd go?
Look, I'm probably
because
I'll probably go traitor.
You can go both, can't you? Like
I
no
think with
matter
every
the
legion,
chapter, or the legion, no matter the legion, you could go both.
I've always kind of
Go to
liked
loyal Night Lords.
Night Lords. They're cool. I like
that's a funny one.
I don't mind Iron Hands. I've always kind of liked
Iron
Iron
Hands are
Hands.
sick.
They're pretty cool. I like the Iron Hands. Obviously I know more about them in the 40k universe than I do in the 30k, but I'd
I
have
think they have
to
the Gorgons. They have Gorgon Terminators. They're just big.
the big bulky blokes.
I think that's Indominus armor. You could probably just paint the Indominus armor.
Yeah, you can use those in 30k.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I'll probably do what you said, but I'll probably listen to some audiobooks while I'm painting and stuff
I think
like
that's
that.
what it's
and
more
then Go
about.
down because I do like lore with things. I like I ended up going Tyranids because of the whole they can eat the humans of 40k. So I'll probably hear something in the lore of 30k and go, yeah, that army is what I'm all about. So,
any events coming up for yourself? Are you going to be playing in any? Are you going
There's
to be
heaps.
going to take some
Heaps.
photos?
I'm in Adelaide next week for a narrative 2-day event. I'm just going to take photos, but a lot of the guys are traveling interstate for that one. There's a doubles event coming up in August. We're going to run by Darcy Williams. I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be sick. Doubles, it just goes off. It's so good.
So it's you and another your teammate playing 2 other people at the same time?
Yeah, so I'm going with another guy named Aaron, and he's running a solar list. So he's running like a very heavy shooting list, and I'm just going to try and just get in there in more combat style. And we'll see how we go. And there's 5 of us going to Tassie for another narrative event as well in September.
So it's very, very serious, the whole, like, I don't know if I've heard 40k players doing this, unless they're like the uber competitive, like Lockie's probably end up doing a fair bit of travel, like for Team Vic, but like for what would be not that you're a regular hobbyist, but like for a person that's just regular hobbyist.
someone that likes to play. You don't hear of a lot of 40k players going.
It'd be like you and me saying, "Oh, I'm going to WA." I mean, I'd like to at some stage once I've got stuff painted to where I want it to be. I would like to go to interstate and play some tournaments.
That'd be cool.
The narrative stuff starts early, so the Tassie stuff, we've been doing the narrative thing for maybe a month on Discord with everybody, and then you just keep going and sort of like not role playing, but you're just trying to follow the lore that's been written for the event, and you add stuff along the way. And
so the event itself has lore that
then you technically already started, but the actual games are in September.
Crazy. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And then you guys are like making your own lore up as it goes.
Yeah, as you go along. Yeah.
Very cool.
That's cool. That sounds really cool.
So we're in a team and there's 5 of us, and you just as you go along, and then it leads up to the event. It's so sick.
That is cool.
All right. So I guess we're getting towards the end of the podcast. What apart from the battle line stuff?
Yes.
Where are you going with your hobby now? Are you seriously going to go home and look at some 30k?
I will. I'm getting my 40k army painted.
Yep.
At least, I want to get at least 1350 points because I've got my list. that I want to minimum get painted. Then in between, when I say I'm interested in collecting other things, what I'll do the same as with like the AOS army. And if I do want to go down the track of 30k, I'll buy a starter box of each. So then Tyranids will be my main focus, but then in between, I can paint a squad of this and then go back to my Tyranids, paint a squad of that, go back to my Tyranids. So I wouldn't mind playing all of them. I like the hobby because I like strategy games, and I'm a video gamer as well, but there's not many strategy games that are like Warhammer. I like the dice roll in. It's like card games. We used to love playing card games. I've always been that kind of thing. So if I can collect from all different game types, like I'll have the dice. It's just different play styles. And so, I probably will have a look and see what
the fantastic thing about the Horus Heresy stuff is it's getting more easily available. Where it was a lot of the time you have to order it from
Forge
the
World,
UK. Yeah. And you were getting the early kits weren't fantastic, but the newer resin started to get better and better. But now it's all shifting across to plastic, and it's all getting stocked at Games Workshop or hobby stores. So it is much easier for someone to get into the Horus Heresy than it used to be. And I mean, plastic's just better than resin.
The community is a big thing as well, what you were talking about. I've met a lot of people now that I talk to more than I've talked to people that I've known for, most of my life, like Tiny, who we met at DreamHack from Adelaide. Me and Tiny always talk now, and it's literally just the hobbies, what made us mates. And
It's not the best.
now it's and which is great because you just have the interest you have even outside the hobby is the same because you've got that same sort of personality, which I think just friendships are so much better that way. Not that there's anything wrong with friendships outside the hobby, but being able to message each other about video games or wargaming or just anything and you just understand what each other's talking about. So it's good. And then you're talking about the community that you guys have and it's like, it sounds like a pretty cool community. Yeah.
So we know you've got a bunch of events coming up. I guess a question I'd like answered is you are doing Blood Angels. Is there any chance you would ever do another Heresy Legion at all? Is there one that's sitting there in the back of your mind and you're like, man, it'd be cool to paint up some Night Lords?
No.
Nothing at all.
No, I can't explain it. I've probably gone through maybe just over 20 books now, almost dived really deeply into every Legion. Man, I don't know what it is. Blood Angels just do it for me.
That's good.
I can't even explain it. I love painting them. I love playing with them.
While we're doing this chat, I did actually get some of your images, which we just haven't shown at all. So while you're doing your talk, I'm going to show chat some of the pics. You won't be able to see them. We've got your NASA. Right. We've got your NASA emit here.
Yes, the Flesh Terror, the man. So I won best character with that guy at an event recently.
So he obviously doesn't have his own model. You've converted this guy.
Yeah, it's just pretty much a Praetor from Forge World, a Blood Angels Praetor.
Yeah,
just changed a few things on it.
Yep. Where'd you get that big old sword?
That's a Paladin sword from the Crimson Paladins.
Nice.
Yeah, you get the sword that comes with it is really, I thought it was pretty ugly. It's just a chunky sword, annoying to paint. So I had a spare Paladin sword. I just fit perfectly, whacked it on.
Yep.
He was a bit more decorated than
what NASA would be.
Yeah, but it kind of works.
And then we've got your Blood Angel Commander Barbiel.
Yeah, Commander
and that is a Crimson Paladin model.
Crimson Paladin. He's the general. He's the big dog.
Oh, is he the captain of the?
Yeah, he's in charge of the Paladins. He's the man. No fear, just goes in. So good.
I've got a random custode here. So you have painted something else.
Yeah, so that's Barry Watkins' custodians. I didn't paint that. Actually.
Oh, that's Barry's.
Yeah, that's Barry. You got Barry Watkins?
I'm getting rid of that. We'll get Barry on for another podcast or something.
He's in the UK. So someone purchased his models down here.
Ah.
Yeah, he's the green stuff god, we call him. He's a freak, that guy.
That's not Ampharis, is it?
Yeah, it's Ampharis. Oh, that's his model.
Yeah, I want
a guy in Canberra.
I'm gonna get that dude to make me something.
Well, we're trying to get him down with another guy named Rob Meadows to do a course. So he's going to do a green stuff course and Rob's going to do a painting course. So keep an eye for that.
That would be
how good would that be
to
have them here?
And now we've got your Dreadnought. So this is one of your models.
Yeah, that's a special Dreadnought.
That's the jump pack one?
The jump pack one.
Yeah.
Dude, it moves 12 inches. It's terrifying.
It's insane.
It's like nuts.
Dreadnought with a jump pack sounds wild.
Yeah.
It's nuts, man. And you've got the Blood Angels specific cannons, Iliastus cannons.
Yeah.
Which are in the fists as well.
Yeah,
and
the assault cannons in the fists.
Yeah, and the talons.
Why not?
It's just so cool. Like the talons, I could take power fists for free. The power fists are stronger, but I take the talons because
they look sick.
They look sick.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Blood Angels are the only one that can have the talons.
See, that's another thing I really get around with like hobbyists as well. People that paint and do models because they like the look of model. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against the people that do it for the competitive side of it, but I like it.
We can have issues with them. That's fine.
Lucky. No, I like that as well because the passion is 100% there. You're painting the models because you like the look of the models. And I relate because recently I'm like Hormagaunts from Tyranids. I look at them and I'm like, they're cool. They're one of the most crazy looking models from Tyranids and everyone's different. They just look like mini raptors. I was like, yeah, cool.
And then once there's a swarm, it just adds to the effect.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I respect that. It's cool.
Yeah, like I could go Power Fist. It's Power Fist Strength 9, Brutal 3. But I use the Talons for the same cost. Strength 7, Brutal 2.
And it's because you like them.
Yeah, but there was a Dreadnought in the book named Orion that died fighting one of the demons. So that's after that guy.
Very cool.
That's why it's like that.
See, I did the opposite with my Brutalis. I wanted to paint the retro fist, so I wanted yellow fingers at the end of a power fist. And I could have had talons, but they wouldn't have done the same effect. So I did the same as you, but for the opposite reason. And funnily enough, when those models came out, the power fists sucked and the talons were better. So yeah.
What a stitch up.
Yeah, I vibe with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. That is basically the end of episode
you can't
22.
cut it back.
We got more?
You haven't told anyone what you're up to and what your future plans are, mate. You can't keep it.
I always do it.
Yeah, come on, mate. Jeez.
Well, most recently, I started painting a Stormcast model, which I've been inspired to do.
The new ones or the old ones?
Yeah, new ones.
New ones, yeah.
Yeah, they look really cool. So for a long, long time, and funnily enough, I was telling chat, I was like, yeah, I've wanted to paint Astral Templars for such a long time. Turns out it's the Celestial Warbringers chamber. So I've been saying the wrong chamber anyway. But
the name was similar.
Yeah, yeah, real close. Metallic Magenta Stormcast. So I've been painting a Blood Angel Land Raider, which you'll love.
Bile Predator kind of style thing.
I'd love to get 3 Bile Predators at some stage, but vehicles just take me so long. But yeah, I'm been painting a Stormcast, so I'm not going to jump headlong into doing Stormcast stuff. I've still got heaps of Blood Angels that I want to paint.
Yep.
So it might be a little bit of a side project just to break things up every now and then. Get some Stormcast.
Which does look very cool in person.
On stream, yeah. And it's about refining. It's a test model. Always encourage people to do test models if they're starting new armies instead of being like, I'm going to fully commit to doing this army, because you might not even like painting that army.
Yeah.
So you might find that you don't enjoy certain areas on a model. Like you like the look of the models, because let's face it, Games Workshop do fantastic jobs painting the models, and it can inspire everyone to get in the hobby. But as soon as you got that plastic model in front of you, it's like enjoying the look of a Tyranid, but not enjoying painting like organic stuff.
Yes. Yep.
You might prefer to do power armor. So always encourage people to do a test model from start to finish, so you can find the areas you enjoy painting, the colors you enjoy painting, what works, what you need to change. And I've been doing that on stream. So like edge highlights weren't bright enough. I need to go back and fix them.
As Judd said, always finish a test model. There is so many times where I've been painting a model and I've only done certain parts and I'm like, oh, this is not looking how I want it to look. But then once you finish it, it's like, actually, it all comes together. That comes together really well. Yeah.
And I only sort of found that after I did a 1,000 Suns model. So I started doing a 1,000 Suns model. I never finished it because I was like, man, this doesn't look good. Something about the gold I don't enjoy. And then I think like 2 years later, I came back and finished that model because I was just like, I want to paint something. I've got this sitting here. And I finished it and I was like, man, that looks sick. I would, if I'd finished this model 2 years ago, I would have committed to an army. So that's why I'm always like, do it start to finish, base it up, get the whole thing done.
Why do you paint Blood Angels?
Why do I paint Blood Angels?
Yeah, like why are they nice?
So Blood Angels was my first Space Marine chapter I painted years ago. So I started with Tau and then I jumped into Blood Angels. I can't even remember why. I think I liked Sanguinary Guard at the time. Thought they were really cool. Painted about 3,000 points of them. And then sold that army, which incidentally was really, really good timing because it was when the Primaris came out and Firstborn were getting phased out. And my army was Firstborn. So I managed to sell that on and then get a whole bunch of Primaris. And then I jumped around from project to project. And my housemate at the time was like, hey, I want to paint Space Marines. Would you go back to painting Blood Angels? I was like, yeah, I could probably do that. But painting it improved like dramatically in that time. So I did a test model and I was like, this looks cool. And because I like armies, I'm an army painter dude. I was like, time to do Blood Angels again. So
I love your style. You do good, man.
Thank you.
You do good. I don't have TikTok, but I catch it on
Insta. Oh man, yeah. I haven't put stuff on TikTok for ages.
I can't do TikTok. It's too much.
If it wasn't for TikTok, I wouldn't be here doing this right now. So thank you, TikTok. Stop being such an insecure platform and maybe you wouldn't have lost me. This will be uploaded onto YouTube, guys. So if you have just caught the end, you want to get the start, it'll be up. I'll probably upload it maybe tomorrow, something like that. I'm getting pretty quick at the upload. So yeah.
It's within the next 2 days.
In the next 2 days, yeah. Yep. So yeah, plenty of hobby. We'll probably have Imzy on at some stage again.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
No, honestly,
it's been a pleasure, really love what you're doing. A lot of people I speak to, they do watch this as well. and everyone just enjoys it. It's nice to have hobby stuff in the background, like while you paint this podcast.
Yep.
You guys are awesome, and yeah, just keep at it. Looking forward to seeing who's on next.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
We've got a person from Canada, I believe, doing a lot of lore chat, like big, deep.
Coming in, or is it going to be like a?
No, we're Google.
Yeah,
Google chat. Yeah,
Google chat.
It'll be exciting. So we've got episode 23 lined up. We're looking for guests for 24. So I'm sure we'll find them. And once we get to 26, that's a year.
And if people are coming in and watching, and you're really into the hobby and stuff like that, and you have pointers that you're interested in giving, shoot someone a message. Reach out. We'd love to. If you
reach
know
out
people,
to my Instagram, reach out to the chat in Twitch, reach out to the Battleforged Gaming.podcast Instagram.
Yeah,
we're always available for a chat, and love talking to people about their hobby.
Oh yeah,
because it's what inspires people. So. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers, boys.
We'll catch you on episode 23, guys.
See you everyone later.